I just want to start off this video with saying don't take yourself too seriously, because at the end of the day we really just are on a planet spinning in the middle of nowhere with nobody else that looks like us that surrounds us except for the ones that live here. And so I'm watching the latest news about everything that's happening around the world and people spitting their little quarrels and their sides and how they feel about the left and the right and Brexit and caravans of volcanoes, tsunamis, MGTOW, just whatever the most prevalent issues that we see in our society, because those are what we see. That's not what's really going on in the world for the most part. I can't say that for the most part it actually is, because the internet's united the world on so many levels, farther than I think the creators could have ever realized. Irregardless, they're still planning on how they're going to manipulate and change things. So, irrespectively of that, I just wanted to say that if you really sit back and think about it, and you really sit back and like just look at the stars at night, you realize like, man, we're really kind of this is really an incredible experience. Life itself, as Joe Rogan said, is a trip. A lot of people take psychedelics and whatever it might be, acid, mushrooms, and they come to this realization. The woke, the millennial 2017 word of the shit. That's the millennial word of the millennium. So we'll just say that woke. A lot of the psychedelics and drugs that I probably am not gonna take myself, but I might. I can never say never. But they awaken you to a state of consciousness that essentially you lose that bit of arrogance to yourself, of that know-it-all to yourself, and you just realize how small you are in this galaxy and in this realm, in this whatever you want to say that we live in, matrix. And then some of us come to that realization without the need of those things. So it really doesn't matter how you come to that realization, as long as you come to that realization is that this is wild. This is really wild what's going on right now. Everything at the end of the day, everything that we do, all your monetary gains and possessions really don't matter. It sucks to say and cynical to kind of think of life in that way, but I think it's the most healthy and rational way to look at it at some points. It's like, yo, you're gonna die one day. The way the rates of the world's going right now, it might be soon, right? There's no way that we could tell, but there's random events that happen every day that seem to be more prevalent or not. Whether they actually are or not, we don't know, because the media influxes and have changed so much of the dynamics of it over the year. But there have seemed to be instances every day that suggest to where living in today's society is a lot more dangerous than it was, whatever my time ago. So I'm sure, different people can speak on that and how they feel based off their political and religious beliefs in the comments. But aside from that, it kind of brings the point where it's like, well, if that's the case, where's the enjoyment? What is the purpose? Well, I mean, I think the purpose is while you're here to spread as much love as possible. While we're on this realm, depending on what you believe, postpartum or postmortem, forgive me. Shout out to all the pregnant women. I hope that, you're, since I said postpartum, some of y'all don't know what that means. Like, why is he talking about pregnant women? I hope that your delivery and expectancy and everything goes to term and everything goes well for you. Aside from that, it's just a magnificent experience, and I think more people came to the conclusion of realizing what life is and kind of just took a step back and saw a fellow human being as, maybe another alien, as weird as it sounds, but, another alien or another spiritual entity or another just like completely random 1 in 3 trillion chance that that sperm cell would have reached that person's mom's egg. So like they have to have something cool about them. You know what I'm saying? If we just could all come to that conclusion of like, man, this is really incredible, what's going on, and not necessarily get so tied into your day-to-day activities. Day-to-day activities are good. Don't get me wrong. I enjoy everything from a basketball game to drink to smoke to whatever it might be, but I know people are like, dang, that's what you consider day to day. Some people do rock climbing. I'm not saying I'm not trying to construe it. Fishing, whatever it might be. I love doing everything. But at the end of the day, while you're doing those day-to-day activities, try and make it a part of your, regimen of, maybe when you cast that line out, or maybe when you, make that phone call or hit up your buddy, realize just what a special opportunity and moment that you have right now. Um, they say being born, going back to that one in like 3 trillion chances, like winning the lotto, like times 1,000 apparently. Being born, just you, the fact that you're here right now is incredible, literally. So it's magnificent, and going into this new year, just kind of keep that in mind. This is a lot bigger than what you think it is. It's a lot bigger than what we could ever think it is, really. So love y'all, and stay up. I'll make a couple more videos soon. Thank God the camera didn't shut off. We're making